in this event with the state government and also the private sector. So one thing about us, we are partners with AWS, Amazon Web Service, for those who know Amazon Web Service. Now, as part of what we do, we've helped businesses to innovate and also to scale on the cloud. And we support all business verticals. We support both the public sector, the private sector, enterprise, SMB, and of course, startups. Fortunately, I manage the startup arm of the business, Sub-Saharan Africa, and also the Middle East. Part of what we're going to be supporting this event with as follows. And one thing we should understand is that one of the 6 pillars of AWS is cost optimization and security. So we are big on cyber security. Your data, your infrastructure, definitely we're big on cyber security. So first, what we offer businesses as it relates to, with regards to this particular event, will be our free web-architected reviews. So we've seen situations where businesses who are here, maybe you are a business, you're already on the cloud, and you spend too high on the cloud. As part of our support to you and this event is we're going to conduct what we call web-architected review for you that will help you reduce your spend significantly on the cloud. And for businesses who are here, startups who are here, when I say startup, I mean SMEs who want to integrate technology into what they're building and also scale fast. As part of our support to you, we are giving you a cloud grant of $5,000. As if that is not enough, we are also partnering with. We're also glad to partner with the Edo Broadcasting Service. We saw what you're doing, sir. Thank you for the innovation you brought to that area. So as part of what we discussed in the office, and say, okay, let's support those who are already doing innovative stuff in Edo States. We say, okay, we're going to have a sit down with you to see how we're going to support any Gen AI use case that can facilitate your operations in your station. That's part of our support to you. And also for other ministry, the Ministry of ICT, the Science, and all other ministries, like I said, we are committed to partner with the state governor. We are excited about what he's doing. And after this meeting, we're going to be having some conversations with the Permanent Secretary, humbly represented, to see how we can come on board to support you to develop a Gen AI use case proof of value. You know, the world is evolving, and now AI is a new world, right? So what we are telling you is that whatever you think AI can do for you, for example, let me use EBS for example. You know, many of us in diaspora, we need to maybe prompt a chat to know the current news. It's not, sometimes we can't find it in Google, right? But we don't have that particular leverage to know what's happening in our states. So we can work with you to develop a proof of value for you to see how that solution can help you scale your operations. That's one of our supports. Also for BIU as well, if you can also have that conversation, we are open because we got the mail to support and we are here to support good infrastructure. And for startups that are here and you have a product and you want to scale, maybe you want to test an idea, right? We're also giving you a grant worth $10,000 to build a proof of value for you. Courtesy Data Melon. I believe someone should celebrate Data Melon. So thank you very much. This is part of what we're supporting with. We also brought some items, some merch that will be distributed to attendees. And during the panel session, definitely I'll speak more as relates to cybersecurity because I am also a cybersecurity expert. Thank you.
In Nigeria and Africa, I'd like Mr. Tejiri Chuno to start, and then we'll come over this way as a teen and youth expert. Mr. Chuno, sir.
Okay. The life learning. If we are to advance as a people, if we are to remain relevant, if we are to lead with innovation, then we have to ensure we are on the path of learning. Here, digital literacy, ensuring that we not just get to know, but we start to also become enablers at the end of the day because of what we learn. So it's quite important that we are getting digitally literate, so that AI fully comes into swing. Many of us also were looking for new jobs because AI is taking over jobs. Funny as it may sound, with all due respect to lawyers, I've been thinking that is there really a future for lawyers with the event of AI? It's just a question I'm asking. Is there a future for lawyers? Well, I don't know if we have any lawyer here, but to say I'm still trying to see that. But if we're not learning and evolving, then what is happening is that we are already going to wake up in a future that's already past. Thank you very much.
It's always a privilege to be sharing my thoughts among great people. Okay, just answering that same question, I'll just reel us back to the historical perspective of literacy. At some point, when you talk literacy, you're thinking about writing, you're thinking about reading. Then it's gradually moved into being digitally literate, and majority of us left off when it moved to digital literacy. That's why you hear people use words like, this technology thing is not really my thing. But I beg to differ. If you want to remain relevant, that comment is personal insults. This technology thing is not really my thing. Sorry if that offends you, but I'll be happy if it offends you enough to begin to take yourself more seriously, because the world we're going into does not really care whether you learn, And of course, just being digitally literate is no longer enough. There's need for you to be data literate. There's need for you to be AI literate. There's need for you to be cybersecurity literate. You can see that while you stopped at your ability to read and write, and you think that the digital thing is not my thing, more layers are being added. So before you know it, your children begin to ask you questions, and you say, shut up there, don't you know I'm your father? No. You understand? So I think that it's our responsibility. Schools are co-parents. Churches are co-parents. It's your responsibility as parents to educate your children. It's not the responsibility of schools. They will do their bits, but these children will spend few hours in school and spend the rest with you. When it comes to financial literacy, they've told us that the reason why the rich seems to always be getting richer is because the issue of financial education is taught at home. And what will a poor parent teach their children? How to replicate their status. So I want to tilt that into digital literacy. How do you teach your children to understand digital world if you don't show interest? So the ball is no longer because you are interested. It's no longer because you need it. It's because your children need it. So I think we must take it seriously. For instance, my son is here. He's intentional. And I have told him he has a book and a biro. He's going to show me his notes when we get back home.
Very
He's
good.
intentional. So we must be intentional about what we want our children to become. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. No, that is so low. Good afternoon, everyone. Fantastic, great. Well done, and thanks to the organizer. I mean, this is very timely. And when we talk about digital literacy, well, the only thing that just comes to my mind is the ability to use technology effectively. So it means that even your server, your phone, your TV, practically almost everybody have a smart TV at home now. So, but the ability to use it effectively, positively, and to your own advantage, to take advantage of that to build skills. Well, when Mr. Osai was talking about his son here, I also brought my daughter. And no, because the truth is, we can't, she was like, Mommy, what are we coming to do here? Of course, children don't like when they have too many adults. But this is not about adults, this is about information, this is about education. So I brought my daughter here, and I believe she will also be learning. And the reason is very simple. Digital literacy has gone beyond the ability to read and write. But guess what? The ability to understand the ecosystem, the ability to understand the tools. Now, we currently have AI fashion students in our center, and some of these women have never used a smartphone. And you wonder how were they able to navigate. You see, these two hands are enough. Your eyes, your ears, that means the basic things you need, God has given to you. You don't even need to read a book. It's just about your intentionality, about saying, you know what, I want to understand how digital space work. And digital literacy, for me, it is compulsory. I think the gaps here that I have seen is that we're using English to teach digital literacy. For example, now, if I'm teaching, like when we take them in my office, at junior, so when we say, okay, you see this big TV now, now big TV, because they understand what TV is, right? So the language is also a major barrier, and we see education as the only ability to read and write. What about those who can use their hands, who can navigate the space very well, who understand the truth? We have so many, like this man is a cinematographer, is a guy, but we have people who have never been to school, who handle this camera and handle it very well. So my point here is, digital literacy is fundamental. That is where I'm going to. We don't have a choice. It is compulsory. It has to be part of our curriculum at the fundamental level. So we need to be intentional. So digital literacy is the ability to use technology effectively. I think I will stop there. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, anyway, I won't start by saying good afternoon because it looks like people don't answer. So I will ride on. Anyway, just joking. Good afternoon, everyone. Once upon a time, some years ago, an old lady came back from the bank, and she got a call the moment she got back from the bank, right here in Benin City. And they told her some stuff to read out from her card. And she wasn't wearing her glasses, and she took it to her husband. And the man read everything out to the other person over the phone. And the moment he was done doing that, he said, "Oh my God, what did I just do?" And the next thing, monies started going out of the woman's account. So he realized, because he's literate, he realized that was a mistake. But the speed by which he could process what he did was slow. That is why. What does it profit you to buy a very expensive phone, a gadget, and the only thing you can do on that phone is just to make calls, WhatsApp, hello, and everything? And pictures.
Yeah.
So basically, digital literacy is something, whether you like it or not, because it reminds me of 1983 when the internet came, and I saw an old video of some anchors, how they were laughing, playing, joking over it on air on the breakfast show, asking, this internet, what can this do? What do you mean internet? So we're going to put, what's this art? Why are you writing the art like this? So it'll be AT. Today, here we are. AI is here. And my colleagues, myself inclusive, have been victims of deep fakes, seeing our pictures, videos, interviewing someone who was never with us on set, selling some kind of product. So 2027 election is also coming, and we'll see more of that. I think that explains how important this digital literacy is. And by the way, the old man and the woman were my parents. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. The microphone is still going. Just stories remind us that we need to also communicate. As we communicate to the young people, we also need to communicate with the older ones. In the SDG language, we leave no one behind. As a veteran journalist, how can media houses drive youth-focused cybersecurity awareness in Nigeria? Taking up on where you stopped.
Basically, I think a whole lot needs to be done. And when he said his children, both of them have their children here, if you realize some of the key things we've been doing, for me, they know in my station I'm very particular. If I don't see Gen Zs around me, then I know I'm out of this world. I love them, I need them, I have 2 of them.
You need them,
yes. And just recently, we had a very ugly situation, and they were challenging this young person. And I said, you know, when Gen Zs, they wake up, most of them, the first thing they pick up is not the Bible, it's not the Quran, it's their phones.
Yeah.
So if this young man is saying this, then you better listen to him.
Yes.
And it turns out he was right. So for us, if you remember then, many years ago, I was at China's television, and they had this, digital program for, IT. They call it Tech Trend. The program still runs on channels. When China started this, it's because they saw the future ahead of everybody. They knew that we needed to understand digital literacy. And today, many stations have started doing all of that. And I think that it is something that everyone should do. For that young person in your house, in your home, they should understand that being digital literate goes beyond what you have seen. In everything you do in life, there are two faces. One is a demon, another one is an angel. And that is why if you have ethical hacker, you also have a scammer. Yeah. The only difference is that the ethical hacker can also be a scammer, but the difference is that he takes permission to move in to do what he needs to do. And he's doing it also to safeguard you or to test the system or to test the firewall. While the scammer is the one who should have been an ethical hacker that has gone rogue. And everything he sees is to see how he can get into your space, defraud you, and make you pay badly for it. So it is only by getting those things on television and radio and social media, because young people don't even look at traditional television today. Yes. So if you don't have that presence on social media, you just might also be losing the catchment area for such knowledge. So for all of us, it's left for us media to populate a social platform with such, creative programs that will better explain what we're dealing with at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is it possible to be an ethical hacker by day and a scammer by night? Okay, Mrs. Izimeme White, you've supported thousands of.
That is one. There's skills, digital skills that are so important for you to scale. First is ordinary, being able to use technology, being able to understand cyber safety, being able to understand how to use the tools to your own advantage. Now, for MSMEs, you already know that the technology, they are enablers, you can't even do without them if you want to scale. So the basic skills for all that we have always emphasized is that have the ability to even know how to use a simple computer. It's as simple as it is. Like the students in our fashion session who are learning AI fashion, like I said, many of them do not even have a smartphone, but we're able to expose them to how to use computers. So that's one. Then number two is that you must understand how to use all collaborative tools, especially for those of us who have graduated. workspace today, everyone is using product development software, everybody is working online. And for all the jobs that are currently available are all digital jobs, from remote jobs to virtual assistants to even coding, to even graphic design jobs, even video editor, content creators. So all of these are jobs that are available. But if you don't understand how to even take a picture, how to even edit them, I'm sure that you cannot even move forward. Then with all the AI tools, there are so many of them. From tools that will help you check your grammar, from tools that will help you edit, from tools that will help you generate content. So all of these tools are so important. So cybersecurity is key. Why am I saying it is key? Because first, your hygiene. When we say cyber hygiene, meaning that how do I protect myself? How do I protect my personal data? How do I protect the persons I'm working for? For us, for example, at Junior, so before you manage our social media, we tell you screenshot evidence that you have download, what do they call that one? Google authentication. You must show us evidence. Why? Because we don't want, because the moment you are hacked, that means we are all in problem. So that is the first thing. So again, the second thing we've done is to do what we call misassessment. What are the areas where we are weak? Where are the possible areas where hackers can come in? And we have identified data. Everybody wants data. Hackers, they don't play with data. So how do we intentionally protect this data? How do we tell our young ones that, okay, being able to protect data alone is also a way to get jobs? So when we look at the jobs available, cybersecurity is key. Cybersecurity is like it's not the way we're talking about gender. That's the way we talk about inclusion. So cybersecurity has become like that. So it is compulsory, it is mandatory for you to scale. You must have that knowledge. And the good thing is, you don't even need to know how to code before you have this cybersecurity knowledge. That is the beauty of it. The ability to understand that, oh, this link doesn't look familiar, I shouldn't click on it. Now, Capcom just released one policy recently that everything you do with them is a property. How many of us are aware of that? TikTok, I've said their cameras are automatically on. And many of us, we are always with our phone. You are naked, you are with your phone. So I'm just giving, it looks simple, but that's social engineering, that's social education, that advocacy. That's why I'm very grateful for this program, because it's exposing us to so many opportunities. At the same time, open our eyes to areas where these hackers are also looking at. So you also need to be safeguarded. So how do you protect yourself? So it is very important to have the relevant skills in order for you to be able to identify this. So cybersecurity skills is also one of them. Data management is also one of them. Virtual assistant skills, because again, everybody wants to work remotely, but these are some of the skills that I know currently are very, very necessary in this our ecosystem currently. I think this is where I will stop for now. Thank you, sir.
You must first ask yourself, what can I do? While the government, the world may be taking their time to do what they must do, you must take responsibility for doing what you must do. I said the only free man is the man who has the ability to choose his own slavery. Everybody is a slave.
Can you say that again?
The only free man is that man who has the ability to choose his own slavery. Any man that says, I want to be entirely free, I'm not a slave, if you check properly, in a short while they will self-destruct. So the world is a guided place. You have to enslave yourself to something for you to have the level of sanity that you exist with. So now, the digital world is coming in with all of the positives. Of course, the bad guys are taking advantage of it. While you wait for the educational system to go through all of the bureaucracies of updating the curriculum, are you going to leave your children exposed? Now you just heard TikTok says our videos, our cameras are automatically on. You don't need the school to go and alter the curriculum before you get your children together and said, you don't have any business with TikTok. And if you must, this must be the time and all of that, I must be carried along. You understand what I'm saying? But when we talk about education in its perspective, that's why we need the schools to embrace this thing. It's still alarming to get into some schools and see that the people that are supposed to be educating our people, our children, are not taking these things seriously. I remember being
These teenagers reside because of the access they have. But you know, everything they have said, coming to what they have said, I think one of the things we ignore, and it's also affecting us here, is the fact that each of us that have this device, we think we are safe. True or true?
True.
All those fingerprints you put in front of your phone, you think you are safe. I mean, you've locked your phone, right?
Yes.
Your phone has, answer me now, your phone has password.
Yes.
What if I can tell you that you're the most exposed person on earth? Would you believe me? How? She said something, and that is because only TikTok that said it. How many of you, when downloading apps, have ever read all those many things they wrote? Raise your hands here. No, raise your hands, let's see. You have read everything before you clicked yes.
We read only the first line.
It's like also asking when you get to the bank and you are signing, do you read all those things they write?
Too long.
Now, so basically, most times when you just click yes, I agree. You know, even when you read it and you really can't agree because you like to install, you just agree because you need the app. You have actually sold your privacy away. So while you are here, some of the apps you have has the ability to read your login details into your bank apps. Some of the apps you have, right, your phone right now can be taking pictures of you. Hackers can easily do. That's very easy to do. Okay, I wish we could have some practical sessions so you see that. Maybe you throw your phone away. You now understand why some people like to carry torchlights. Yeah, because, you know, I'm just saying that we are really exposed, and that is one challenge a lot of young people face because they are so excited about access, so excited about the engagement, the information. They are not conscious about data privacy issues. So they are largely at risk. You see where he was talking about his father. You know, that's going too far. There are a lot of young people who also, there's this thing called digital footprints that we don't really take serious. You are everywhere, snapping bedroom, snapping everything. You are giving somebody the schematics into your house. You do not know there was a popular singer who was killed, who was robbed and killed abroad just before a concert. Why? He was doing his bling bling and some money he held, and the address of where he was staying showed. And guys attacked him before his concert. I've forgotten his name. Is online there. So a lot of these things. You are there everywhere you go. I know people need to know where you go. Please don't be. Is it a Glow or MTN that's everywhere you go?
Glow.
Please let them do everywhere you go. Stay everywhere you are. Okay. So there's data privacy issue, which is a big threat to young people. Another serious threat here is cyberbullying and mental health issues. I don't know how, look, as at 2010, I already had 8,000 followers on then Twitter. Right now, I only go to Twitter when I see breaking news, because I may go inside and break down. I don't know how people survive on Twitter these days. You just go there, it's like they are sharks. The moment you just tweet one thing that offends somebody's mental state, you are the next target, and all fingers come on you. You know, and it's almost like being right on Twitter is insanity. You know, so a lot of young people who really, their brains are still developing, get into that world filled with sharks, and what do you think becomes of them? You go on social media, there's a whole lot of body shaming, there's social media shaming, and all that's going on. Why do you think young people now easily get depressed? There's another side to that conversation, but that's another threat. There is also the threat of radicalization, because a lot of young people are exposed, unlike when we were growing up. They were the books that our parents allowed us to read. True or true?
True, true.
They were magazines they shouldn't catch you with.
Holding,
True or true?
Holding, Seth.
Right now, the fact that you are with this device gives you access to multiple information, which actually, because they have not grown to the point where they can filter and analyze, they become so confused with multiple options. So they cannot really understand why, how, where, when. So they just take the information, and the next thing is, let us explore it. And you hear somebody, now this also now leads into scams. You hear somebody now saying they are taking back from the white people what they stole from us. That's foolishness. That's, yes, someone sold that narrative. So a young man now goes online with all his gifts and talents and invests time to steal from people, and he calls it taking back. That's already radicalization. That's how also some movement starts. I don't want to go too much into that, but you can see that this happens. There is the risk of there's a risk of exploitation as well, and we can see where they take advantage, also coming from radicalization, advantage of the fact that as Africans, and we must be careful. I was happy he was in the conference we held, the African Family Life Delegate Conference, where we talked about some of our core values as Africans. And because we are becoming westernized, we are just feeling those things are archaic. The truth is they are what has defined our identity and made us who we truly are. True or true?
True.
When we